Amazing audience, we are live with the amazing Misty Gilbert. How are you doing?
I'm good, Angel. Great to see you in person.
Great to see you as well. Wow, Facebook doesn't do justice to your picture. You're much more beautiful.
Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you. It's great to finally meet you in person after
Same here.
several years of social media connections.
Yeah, I'm in between your voice in my ears.
Yes.
I see in your face. Yeah,
Yes.
It's fascinating.
Yes.
Now you've done a ton for me. Yeah, you've helped my business model with your truth that you pierce through with, right? On many occasions, you did it casually. It seems like a natural, innate ability to cut through the mess, right?
Yes.
And I had a lot of mess with some things, yeah. And
We
I
all
appreciate
do.
that.
We all do,
We
Angel.
all do. Yeah.
We all have broken holes that we need others to fill.
Yeah, but you were one of the persons that was twice on the podcast,
Yes.
yeah, which only happened 3 times thus far. Tell us, what's the update? I know there's the medical transcription, right, that you're doing, right, or that you did.
Medical billing.
Medical billing, right?
Yes.
I'm mixing it up
That's
because
okay.
we met because
We
of
met
the
because of
transcription.
transcription, yes.
Yeah, right?
Yes.
So the medical billing. What's up in your world? Like, what's new? What are you doing?
Well, I'm in the middle of a transition of moving out of an apartment into a house and trying to get settled again in a new routine. But as far as personal and business, always continuing to focus on how can I be a better person? How can I grow myself and be a ripple effect into other people's lives? Our world is generally emotionally driven and not vision driven, and we as individuals will drive our lives based off of vision. So my goal is to how do I come and approach the challenges of today and not run from the pain that I'm experiencing, but embrace it more intentionally, to be courageous, to be generous, and to be loving. Because by being intentional, then I'm able to be authentic, I'm able to be vulnerable, I'm able to be bold. And without being intentional in those things, I'm not able to be who God created me to be. And our society just generally runs from pain. We shut down, we want a quick fix, we don't embrace the challenges, we don't embrace the struggle, we get defeated, we don't choose to let it do its perfect work in us. And by actually embracing the pain, leaning into the pain, leaning into the struggle, we're able to grow and develop and strengthen ourselves. So I would say I'm in a journey of that right now on several levels.
You're sharing it as well. I mean, one of the things I've seen you do is that vulnerable word. That's huge, and I think it gives others strength to share their stories. So there are times you would do the poem thing,
Yes,
right?
yes.
And there are times that you would just share and give people updates, but it's not like a puffed up update. It's the reality of what the situation is. And I think within the online community, within the online space, it's important. It's important to show the not so good as well as the good, because the not so good can turn into the good, right?
Absolutely. And I would, to speak to that, I would say when you follow leaders, whether it's John Maxwell or whether it's Dave Ramsey or whether it's whoever you like, they generally portray the good stuff. Once they have a product, once they have something, they've had a success, they then share their story. We need more people who are willing to share their struggle in the journey, in the moment, and not be afraid to be a leader and be completely vulnerable. Because I'm no different than you. I can accomplish what you can accomplish, but there's a struggle to get there. And when we put ourselves up as, oh, I finally arrived, I finally have everything together, and look at how beautiful my life is, and you can do this too. Nobody sees the hard work and what the person goes through to have determination, to have grit, to be passionate, to stay alive in the midst of life when it sucks every bit of air out of you, when friendships fall apart, when business connections fall apart, when you're struggling financially, emotionally, mentally, physically. Life will bring storms to you. And in the shit storm, you won't know why. You'll later learn the lesson. But the challenge in the middle of the shit storm is to, just like with a tornado or a hurricane, the center of the epicenter of it is calm. And you get to choose how you recenter yourself and what you focus on. And if you focus on the vision, you'll get where you want to go.
Yeah, I love that. Well done. I'm very proud of you. I'm very proud of you. I've seen your journey just from a back, right? Just a bit, just virtually, but I've seen it, and I'm very proud of you. It's also something I want to ensure that I am doing, right? Sharing my journey as I go through, right?
Sure.
When I hit the goals or when I do not hit the goals. For example, 1001 may not be possible, but I want that story to be communicated, that I set this huge goal and I didn't do it. I didn't get to it, but that is just a possibility. There are people, I've worked with a company and they've set monthly targets and not hit it. It happens, it's life, but there's so many more things that are valuable that are necessary to focus on.
Right.
Life happens.
Well, and I think we teach that you have to be a failure to get to success. You have to fail to, you fall forward. We teach that, but we're afraid to live it. We're afraid to actually demonstrate, this is where I failed. This is something that happened yesterday, and I'm starting today with a clean slate again to pursue what matters to me. None of us are perfect. None of us, and if we expect other people to be something we're not, we're being a hypocrite. And so that's one thing I continually focus on and evaluate my life is, what are the expectations I have of you, and do I have those same expectations of myself? And I would say, Angel, I love that you are willing to say, 1001 face-to-face interviews on the 12-minute convos with Angel Jones may not happen. And when you and I talked a week or two ago, we were talking about where you're at with your target and what we could do to make you reach your target. I love that you took a deep breath and said, Misty, I want to embrace each conversation. I want them to be meaningful. I want to enjoy this process. And if I don't reach my goal, I'll learn from and I'll start over and I'll do it different. And I think that's, again, being vulnerable. That's saying, look, I set a big audacious goal and I'm still going to strive to go from good to great. But to get to great along the way, I'm going to have challenges.
Yeah, it's important. Now, one of the segments we cover is your own unique real shoes. All right?
My own unique real
There
shoes.
we go, right? And that segment speaks to what type of shoes did you wear between the ages of 1 to 12? Tell me. Physical shoes. What type of shoes did you wear?
Physical shoes, well, at school was tennis shoes.
Tennis shoes.
At home, we usually were barefoot. We didn't wear shoes in the house.
Okay.
Shoes were for going out, and so at home I was generally barefoot. Going outside to take the trash out or something like that, then it would be generally a pair of casual flip-flops or slip-on shoes of some kind, like Jelly Bellies.
Jelly Bellies. What about 12 to 24? What are you wearing then?
Well, 12 to 24, as I was transitioning into the workforce, depending on the job role that I had, a lot of them would not accept open-toed shoes in the healthcare industry, so more classy closed-toed shoes. But then 24 and up, I wanted to be more of a leader, and I wanted that role, and so I started dressing and presenting myself in roles to look that part before it was my role.
When you look back from then to now, do you have any regrets?
No. Because I feel it's like when you watch the movie It's a Wonderful Life, everything that happened in that movie took him to where he was. And along the way, there were things that he didn't like, and there were things that were challenges, and he wished he could have done different, people that walked out of his life, but he wouldn't be where he was without them. For me to have regrets would not make me who I am today. I can't be who I am today with all these things that have happened to me. Being raped at 17, not wanted by my dad, all these things that happened to me along the way, leaving a church group that was my life, having friends walk out of my life and no longer wanting to be a part of my life. Those things cross you, but at the same time, they are how I have become strong and how I have pursued being determined and having grit and passionate and focused and love and being courageous and brave. The very things I am at the core, I would not be without those challenges.
Love it. What are you most excited about right now?
I'm most excited about trying to help people understand that they get the power to choose to live intentionally, and they can live intentionally in freedom. And it's a daily choice. The world wants to put us in chains of emotional, mental, physical, spiritual situations that create harm inside of us, in our soul. We get to choose how we respond. We get to choose what we do with it. We get to choose who's in our circle. We get to choose where we spend our time, where we spend our money, and we're not victims. And we every day get the power of choice. And yesterday, there were things that happened for me that I would like a chance to be able to fix differently. But I have today to wipe the slate clean and start over again. And that's a choice that I get to take, starting in my mind, then feeling it, and then acting it out.
And then having a 12-minute convo with
Yes,
Angel Jones. I love it. Now, where's the best place for people to connect with you, Misty?
Well, my personal brand is mistywgilbert.com. I have two businesses, as you know, the consulting, training, and accounting, and then the other one where I'm a writer, coach, and speaker. I love to help people focus on themselves and their goals, to improve communication and relationships, and to live intentionally in all aspects of their life. So depending on what area of business they are in and they want that connection, then they can connect with me on all forms of social media.
Love it. Misty, this was a great pleasure, my friend. Before you leave, is there anything else you'd like to share with our amazing audience?
I tell you to be courageous, be generous, be loving, and live intentionally and pursue this life that you want.
Love it. Misty Gilbert, thank you for being on What is Inspired.
Thank you,
12 Minute
Angel. I
Convos
can't
with
believe I get to
Angel.
meet you in person. Awesome.
High five. Did you have fun?
Yes, sir.
Boom.
Boom.